Screw intros, guys. Dolly, you were there. You were there. I got her. I got her. Dolly, I got her.
You did.
You were there. You were there. Dolly, how's those golden glows? Oh wait, never mind. Sorry.
God up. Stole my goddamn GG luck. Not once. 2 off-brand pulls of my pink cat. You know how I feel about small pink things. Phrasing. Doesn't help that you also nabbed like 2 Poziemka.
And I also got a Surtur.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I also got apple pie because that was a random pull as well.
Aqua legitimately only pulled good, only pulls good units. Not that there are truly bad units in the game that you can easily pull, but God, goodness.
Yep. Oh, I also did use my because I had got 2 extra like 10 pulls or whatever, just from using like store currency and all that stuff.
All
right. I did pull another Gavial. So
okay, cool. Because if you said golden glow, I was just going to leave the podcast
no,
on the spot.
I'd have sent you a picture if I got it like that. I'd be like, hey, guess what?
I just want one.
Yeah. It was a good Friday. It was a good Friday. I did like for that small stream, I did like 31 pulls, which is technically 300 like it's individual pulls, or 310 individual pulls. I'm purposely not calculating how much money I actually spent because then it'll make me sad.
More than me, tell you what.
But it was definitely somewhere in the almost $200 range. But it was worth. It was worth because Gavial wrecks shit.
She does go very hard.
She is monstrous. And Chen Alter also does a lot of damage.
She is also another broken unit in this game, yes.
Because I pitied her, and then and again, like one of my last pulls, I got Surtur, which is apparently one of the just set and forget characters.
Not quite. You do have to activate her, but yeah, she'll do her job.
Oh, it's set and forget, and then redo it by hitting auto deploy, and then she'll do it herself.
More or less.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good. I did that event. That event is not as interesting as the first one, as the previous Gavial story. Mainly because I kind of don't care about Minimalist. And it was like halfly about him.
Fair.
He was kind of boring. Poziemka was pretty cool. Even though I've been playing this game for like 4 months, I still don't understand like the whole why does everybody have like 4 different names?
Okay. People have 2 names and maybe an alias from a past life. They have their given name. I'm always going to use Blemmy for this. Blemishine name is Maria. She is called Blemishine because, I don't know, code names, I guess. And any other names you hear are just because they have other titles because, they're really cool legendary folks, I guess.
I was going to say, are they like Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats characters or something?
Well,
I mean, let's think about a couple of those. You have Blemishine, which does sound very Cats. Now that you've said it, you have Flametail. Also sounds a bit. Other ones that kind of sound like that. Project Red, maybe if you squint your ears. Yeah, you heard me. Squint your ears. Airscape. Yeah, some of these names are a bit funky. They're mostly just code names. We don't usually call them by their given unless it's someone like Anthony or Psycho, and I just call Perfume and Lena because it's simpler.
Yeah.
It's code names. They're part of an organization, and the organization, for whatever reason, has code names.
So Pozemka is the code, right?
Oh, so
Because her
I
name is Adovita or something like that.
you'd know better than me. I don't have her.
No, well, no, I meant they call her Adovita in the event story. They don't call her Pozemka in the event story.
Oh yeah, fair enough then. I'll be honest with you. With my
You skipped
limited
it.
time,
You skipped the. I know. You skipped it.
yeah,
I read most of it, but I skipped the final cutscene because it just wasn't very interesting.
I mean, I'm gonna do what I
Um,
always do. Once I have some downtime, I'm just gonna find someone online who has uploaded the story. I'm just gonna watch it through.
yeah. Well, there's 2 extra things that come out. I think something unlocks on the 20th, and then something
The
unlocks on
X,
like. But there's. But is there something higher than the EX? Because there's something that unlocks later
yes,
on.
there's because it was in Siltivara and Novus. There's probably a EX and an EX Series X, a Savage, if you will.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of funny. It was kind of a funny event.
It was there to be cute, and like you can always tell like the vibes you're meant to be getting it from the I almost said FMV. That's not correct. From the PVs we get.
Yeah.
I mean, this one was essentially a giant carnival event that also maybe
Yeah.
the sky is falling.
Yeah. It was the sky wasn't falling. So do you know anything about what do you know about the Durans?
I know that Durin herself is adorable. Myrtle is one of the best units in the game. Also, they're little people,
Oh, yeah,
and
okay.
they
So
build good.
they build underground.
Oh no, I do know that this is an underground
Okay.
location that is still
Yeah.
subject to
Yeah.
the
There's just
terror of not
yeah.
cataclysms. Yeah, cataclysms.
Yeah. No catastrophes.
Catastrophes. There we go.
Yeah.
I've been playing this game for 2.5 years.
Well, so there's just a hole in this area, and instead of fixing it, the Durans were like, how about we make a fucking water slide out of it? They call it the aqua pit. Because there's water just flowing down from this hole or whatever, and so they just made like a bunch of water slides, and instead of fixing it, they were like, well, fuck it, we'll just make a water slide out of it.
The
But there's
logical choice, truly.
but somewhere later on down the line, they find like an originum deposit that looks like it'll probably explode within like the next week. So they have to like get away from it.
Understandably so.
Yeah. So like I mean, it was like back and forth between like a bunch of like bureaucracy because the Duran do stuff like they have to vote on it and be like, okay, do we want to make this bridge? We here vote to make this bridge, etc., and all that crap. They're all a bunch of drunken idiots. They do nothing but drink. And Gaviel just drops in and is like, "Hey guys, I got a letter from Tomimi saying that there was something happening. And we thought it was bad, so we came in a hurry." And they're like, and everybody's just like having fun on the beach, and she's like, "What the hell?" Just like, "What the hell?" So yeah, I mean that's pretty much about it. It wasn't as interesting as a fucking like fight fucking tournament in the first one where
It's a
Gabriel just goes
shame
and beats
you don't.
everybody up.
Yeah, it's a shame you're not as that would be a fair word choice. You're not as into the horses because their arc has been interesting because they literally have competitions, like actual just straight up fight competitions.
Like you talk about you talk about like the horse people in
Yeah, like the Casimiras.
oh, so like Neuro.
Like yeah, specifically
Yeah.
Neuro's event and Wish Last and Blemmy stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I mean it's not that I'm not into it. It's just I mean Neuro's cool.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Nerl's a launch unit. What are you gonna do? She's great. She's genuinely great, but she's a launch unit. So
I didn't get introduced to Neural with a badass song, so that's like my focus went more to
her
the
PV was quite good, but it wasn't savior good. So
Mhm.
fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, one of the things I've been playing this entire weekend is Arknights, logging in, trying to, like, since I have a bunch of busted units now, my focus is now on to getting these busted units to a place where I can use them in
Give me your
content.
GGs.
I can put her on my support.
Not
You
the same.
can use my GGs.
Anyhow,
I would give you my GGs, but you know, obviously can't.
I actually was terribly busy this week, and I also didn't get up to much. So, Arknights was about it for me. So I'll keep mine terribly brief. And that's that. What do you get up to, Lake?
Absolutely nothing. Well, actually, no.
I'd love to hear it.
I didn't play games. I was
Okay.
working.
Oh,
It's true. You've been
I've been
terribly
so
busy.
busy. So like I've used that chill corner thing to help me write and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
and I've like work and I'm doing so much illustration work and then staying up late. I've had so many late nights. I don't know what sleep is anymore.
For the week.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. I did play one game on
Late on this.
Friday the 13th. I
Oh.
found a really good Jason. You know Jason Friday the 13th, right?
Let's go.
I found a really good puzzle game. It's one of
Oh.
those like grid things, and you slide Jason around the grid to kill people.
This was not what I was
It's
expecting it
free
for.
and it's actually really fucking fun. I played it on Friday the 13th only, so
Well,
yeah, that's the only game I remember playing. It's called Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle on Steam, and it's free and it's very good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it.
Yeah.
It's a killer puzzle.
Yeah, you get loads of unlockable Jasons, different costumes and stuff. I also watched Jason in New York that night as well. It's so good and rubbish and good. What else? Was it Jason Takes Manhattan? I can't remember. Something like that. What else? Yeah, that was was it, yeah, unlockable Jasons, loads and loads and loads and loads of levels to go through. And the best bit about it is Jason's mum is like a decapitated head floating above the
Oh,
screen,
God.
telling you what to do. For example, Jason, take care of these kids. They're very sinful and naughty. And then
Oh,
Jason
God.
replies, "Yes, mom." It's like
Nice.
it's so good. All right, but that's what I played. That's what I did. I went sleep.
I'm trying to think if I did. I mean, I picked back up Cold Steel 4 last night and played a little bit more today. But I mean, it's Trails, and I'm just hopelessly addicted to that series. Haven't
Hey,
haven't
as an
tou-
upside, you've added 2 more to the I guess the converts. Matthew literally
Oh yeah,
had to hard start 2 because of the way 1 ends. Love to hear
yeah,
it every single
yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean,
And even
I also bought it for him for like $12. So
now there you have it. Fair enough.
because there was no way he would. He said he would have paid the he would have paid the full price for it. And I'm like, I don't know if it's worth full price at the moment.
No, let him save his money so he can pick up 3 once he's finished.
Yes. Wait, you said 2 more converts. Well, who's the other one?
Coded, no?
Well, Coded's been playing the game. It's just he didn't have 4, and he was like, maybe I should go ahead and start 4 or whatever. And then he was looking for it, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just gift it to him.
Okay, I misunderstood then.
So then he's on 4. It's like it says he's put in 57 hours recently played in Cold Steel 4, all right? But I only have 45 hours, all right? And I am massively
You calling him a liar?
massively ahead of him. So he's either just running around or he's idled that game for a little while.
I'll be guilty of that. Lots fair play.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll slowly get through 4 so I can be ready for Reverie when it comes out. I'll look forward to that episode where we have Laverne and Sly on to actually talk about Trails whenever they actually get through those games. Well, Laverne's already caught up, but Sly's not, so gotta wait for Sly. I'm trying to think. I didn't play anybody else. I didn't play Death Stranding. I watched anime and forced Dalit to watch anime. And
I'm still not.
Yeah, I know you're not over it.
I didn't like it.
I know.
I did not like that.
I started him on Made in Abyss the other day.
Okay.
And he got to a very bad Made in
Oh
Abyss,
no.
which is
Not
like
very bad.
I don't.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
Yeah.
And I can't even say what because I feel like it's spoilery. So
yeah. You'll be happy to hear. All right. Because I was listening to Garnt talk about it earlier. All right. While season 2 is a lot more fucked up, it's more in the Lovecraftian type of fucked up.
Yeah, I'll take it. I don't want.
Okay.
I can't do another episode like that.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure after that, there's like nothing like that horrendous after that. But yeah, he said it's more Lovecraftian type fucked up. So, he says that's the better horror that he likes. Yeah, that's all I did. Anime and Arc Knights, pretty much.
Quick aside, I feel fucking terrible. I've been so busy at the start of this year. I completely missed AGDQ, which has wrapped up as of Monday, I believe.
Yeah.
I was super disappointed in myself. I was so busy I didn't even catch their reminders. So it wasn't until people started linking the Palace of the Dead route. I'm like, hey, they're gonna do that at AGD. Oh no!
No.
So I know I'm usually the one to call that out. Sorry about that, guys. Missed it. Was busy. But as with always, go check out the VODs on the YouTube. You can always skip around to see whatever you want. And they'll all be uploaded by now, surely. So.
Oh yeah, they're all pouring in. There's like a whole bunch of them.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, Skate and Tony Hawk and stuff like that was on.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're all actually up, and the ones pouring in now, because they're very clever, are re-uploads at a higher quality. Because they usually do upload on the day, which is terrifically impressive. That's got to be so much work.
Yeah, I'm also really proud of Frosty.
Yeah.
GDQ. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was the virtual couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to carry that. I haven't actually watched it yet, so if we want to chat about that. But if not, I did want to put that out there for everyone because I usually talk a whole lot of shit about you should definitely watch and don't miss, and then I promptly didn't watch and missed.
So the rundown for the 14 thing is that there was a Palace of the Dead run with I think was floors 171 to 180. Done by Angelus Demonis, who is known in the 14 community as the Palace of the Dead deep dungeon runner. He does them all solo. He's done it on every job. He's done it 12 billion times. He actually only uses his keyboard. He doesn't use his mouse at all.
He's a monster.
Yeah. So he applied for the 171 to 180 run. And they accepted it. It took him like 40 something minutes to get through it, I think. But he had to prep that week before to get up to that spot, which he didn't realize other people were also prepping up to that spot. And when he finished it or whatever, there were a bunch of people waiting in the little in between room.
Fantastic.
Waiting for him to get through it, because there was the only thing that would have stopped Angelus from getting through it is if the server is fucked up or something like that. This guy.
Oh no,
this guy.
I'm very happy to see he had like a little cheerleading squad at the end.
Yeah.
I felt
It's
sorry
like
for
every
him.
time
Like there was hiccups during the stream. It's just like the internet connection was cutting out.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
rough. It's rough. Continue on.
I did want to bring it up, so I mean, I'm happy to hear. I'll definitely be watching that this week, unless suddenly I get busy this week. So
I mean, it's
have
quick.
A lot of
It's only
catch-up to do.
It's quick. It's only 40-something minutes for that. Yeah. Let's see. I didn't fully watch it, but I know Frosty's a good commentator on stuff. He's only ever awkward on his own podcast, where he's just like, all right, I don't exactly know everything I'm talking about here, but that's why I brought on these two people to talk about what they know.
Smart man.
So he's like, I love just having these two people talk back and forth to each other. I'm just sitting here like his hands in his fucking his hands his head's in his hand. And he's just listening. He's like, yeah. I love Frosty. Speaking of which, he's doing the I think it's a 24/7 stream of the race to world first for the Omega Ultimate rating on
yes.
Comes out on January 24th, Tuesday. I will be there because I am a moderator for Frosty, and I'm almost never in his chat to moderate his chat. His chat doesn't need moderation. His chat was kind of like Ethic's chat. It's
Spectacularly well behaved.
It's spectacularly well behaved or whatever. So I'm never in he also does Mog Talk on days that I'm at work or whatever. And during the times that I'm at work, so I never get to actually be there. But I have off Tuesday and Wednesday, so I'll be there to have 18 billion people be in chat, because he normally gets about 15 to 20,000 people watching.
I do like watching the Wilfers stuff, even though I haven't played Endwalker yet, blah blah. But I feel like I won't get spoiled because I will never do the end race.
Oh yeah, no,
amazing.
And it's just Omega. It's just the Omega fights.
Yeah, and I've seen that before, right?
So that's all back. That's all back in Stormblood. So.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it'll be pretty good. I think he's gotten he's I don't want to confirm that he's done it. But he did state last week that they were working on sponsors for this event, and possibly that the first stream to the first team to complete Ultimate on stream will get some type of monetary incentive.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I hope that works out. Yeah.
We will see. I can't wait for it. I love watching the world first race, at least for the first 24 hours. And then I continuously look at my phone every past that to see if anybody's cleared it. So, because Ultimates take at least 3 days clear.
Yeah.
So, that's gonna be fun. But that's all we did this week, and we have a little message from Little. Get it?
A little message.
A little message. I'm funny, aren't I? I could be a comedian. It's all cool. Dear Perpetual Backlog, I write this to you in great sadness, as I have grown sick and have not received my advertisement check to be able to afford my medication. Jokes aside, I did catch a little bronchitis this past week.
I've had that. Terribly sorry to hear.
Yeah.
Get well soon.
But he's given him a little free time to work and from work and managed to finish Star Ocean 6. And he'll probably be moving on to Crisis Core. He
Brilliant.
also watched a few episodes of Chainsaw Man. And he's, holy shit, that anime is totally my speed. He was messaging me. He was messaging me when he got to the part where where Denji fucking just destroys nuts.
Yeah, nuts or nothing.
It's nuts or nothing. And then he says, "P.S. Episode 2 of Northern War seems to be setting up seeds for a nice little story." All that aside,
Nice?
as for the
Is that the word we're
Yeah.
using?
yeah, nice, I guess. Yeah, nice. Yeah, exactly. I don't think I've had this conversation with Little, but we already know how the story ends. People might not die, but that country definitely gets taken over.
Mhm.
For the question, just when you think a company couldn't look any worse, Wizards makes a fool of us all. Am I right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Even when doing the right thing, they did the wrong thing. It's
They
fucking
did.
astounding.
I can't wait to talk about it later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, rest assured, that's on the chopping block tonight.
Holy shit.
On the Butcher's Block. Haha, 14 reference. Yeah. I'm sad now because we don't have Butcher's Block in 14 anymore.
Ah.
Yeah. Poor Warriors. Anyway.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
Speaking of Final Fantasy VII The First Soldier ended service on January 11th. That was very short-lived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm certainly not going to sit here and like fake tears or anything. What a mess of a game that was, eh?
I didn't. So people that had played First Soldier, I mostly heard like pretty all right things about it. All right.
I'm sure. Like, don't allow me to rephrase this. I recognize now I just sound like this game was doomed to failure because it's a bad game. No, this game was made by a capable company, and obviously the mechanics in there should be fine. However, this is a saturated market. And this is a studio whose main demographic are not just shooters, but certainly not going to be big into BR.
Yeah.
So this was a risk to begin with. And when did it release? November of the year before last?
Yeah.
December?
Pretty much around that point, yeah.
Right. So the end of it's been about a full year, give or take. So it going out of business, it's sad because for anyone who was playing. But I looked into this player numbers absolutely
Very low.
tanked out on this thing,
Yeah.
and it's not even that it tanked out recently. It's been like that. Bots were introduced.
From the start.
Yeah, like this is not an IP that was ever going to attract the correct people to it. Either you were going to bring in people that play BRs, and they were going to play it, and there were going to be a small group of people that weren't already playing another one, or you were going to get a couple of folks from your very heavy JRPG community to get in and play and probably get bored because it's not the games that they're after. I'm pretty sure we called this at like the release of the trailer for this game that this was an odd duck that was probably never going to see much success.
Yeah.
I just wonder if they made back enough money on this thing at all. I cannot imagine they did. I have to imagine they pulled the plug because it was better than continuing to lose money.
They probably got to a point where they got to the highest amount of profits that they could, and they were like, okay, we're shutting it down.
I mean, yeah, but it's like it's a free-to-play game, so they didn't make any money on box, which means it was purely driven by in-game monetization. And honestly, I didn't hear too many people talk about the monetization, which is good because it probably means it wasn't terrible, but also not great because it probably means the monetization that people really would have been excited for may not have been in the game. So
Possibly. Yeah.
I don't know. Like the fact that I wasn't hearing about people running around in like the first Skier, and when I say the first I mean like Sephiroth, Genesis, and Zack, because Zack and Jill and Cloud all were the same thing. Or like having like notable body swaps like I don't know, Scarlet, new Jessie, just new Avalanche in general. And maybe characters from the anthology, like the other Avalanche, the unnamed Turks, stuff like that. I don't know. I just think this game probably was a huge loss for Square, and they tanked it because there was. Like, I think you're right. They hit peak and they realized, well, if it's just downhill from here, it's not worth keeping up.
Well, I can tell you, it probably made it. I think it lasted longer than fucking
Oh, Babylon's Fall.
Babylon's Fall. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in that these they failed for two very different reasons.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not surprised. This was, I mean, honestly, Square probably didn't like plan to probably have this game up for very long anyway. So, and it's
I'm
not like
genuinely-
it was a BR, so it wasn't like one of those games like say in about a year from now, Arknight shuts down or something like that. I'd be a little mad because, not because I spent money on the game, but because I put time into that game. So,
yeah, I'm just
be a little disappointed.
I want like a no clip or something style doc on this so I can learn more about it, because I just don't see why this company thought it was a good idea to begin with. Like
probably.
But even what they've said in the various behind the scenes stuff, it was clearly it was never meant to be the first Soldier. It was never meant to be Final Fantasy VII inspired. They did that because they were already terrified that their BR wasn't going to sell. And admittedly, it seems like they worked in the Final Fantasy aspects pretty well. But if you already knew that it wasn't going to be very good, I'm just surprised they bothered. But I guess they had to make back some money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Moving on. Guilty Gear Strive was under some attacks due to an exploit in the game that allowed hackers to take control over parts of your game. This very much affected mainly streamers because people could just target streamers while they were playing. I forget what the exploit actually was, but it's been in the game for quite a while.
Yeah, so from what I'm aware, a game just like it lets you access data that you clearly shouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
And you could then like change names and type in chats as that person, which, you know, not great and has the potential to get you banned.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what else it could do, but yeah, I'm sure you could put in things that cause like the game's like legit crash. You're correct, obviously. The people who are going to be hit by this the hardest are the streamers, because that's where any of this actually matters to like anyone. Like if someone's writing in chat with my name, whatever, you're not going to get anything from that. But say you write in as say Jam, Majin Obama, especially the character he has, who the guardian to heaven, or like if it was Max or someone like that, yeah, then you could actually get some notoriety. You know, just trolls being trolls.
Yeah.
It does suck. It's always awful when people's experiences get like destroyed like this. It's no bueno.
And I haven't seen if Arc System Works was able to input a fix into it yet.
Last I checked, there still wasn't even a statement. So I don't know.
Well, that's not good.
That was weeks ago. I'm sure they've said something by now. I just don't know.
Arc System Works. You gotta get on that. You gotta start talking to people. Gotta start telling people it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna fix these things. Yeah, I'm looking on there. Oh, actually, notice regarding the recent exploit attacks in Gear Strive.
Nice. So they did say something. Good.
Yeah. We have become aware of a series of attacks that is from an exploit targeting players in-game, whereby the exploit has been reported to cause unwanted player messages, game freezes, and crashes. We are investigating this case with full urgency, seriousness, and are moving towards implementing a prompt solution. And just more PR speak after that. That was uploaded on the 13th.
Okay, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I'm assuming they haven't figured out a fix for it yet. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I woke up one morning, looked at my phone, and the first thing I saw was that Simon Pegg was voicing the headmaster of in Hogwarts Legacy, and I was like, you know what? That might be interesting, because apparently this headmaster is the last Slytherin headmaster for Hogwarts. And
Did you happen to watch that trailer, that interview, that hybrid trailer view that they did?
I did, but I didn't notice anything out of it. Why?
So here's what I noticed, and mayhaps I just missed it, but I felt like Simon Pegg was taking the piss the whole fucking time.
Oh, I mean, he might be.
Like,
Yeah, I'm not sure how he feels about certain people.
No,
exactly.
Most a lot of British people hate J.K. Rowling. So
No, you're wrong. Actually,
that's the problem in it.
yeah,
a lot of British people that are working.
When it comes to certain rights, shall we say, Britain is actually really behind. I'd actually say they're more behind than America. So,
mercy, imagine.
Unfortunately, yeah. So it's not that people hate J.K. Rowling; is that people who hate what she's fucking saying is ones that are avoiding the game.
Yeah, but like the people that worked on Harry Potter do not like J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. I mean, like the cast have spoken about how they personally feel, but I don't know. I haven't seen the interview itself. Did it sound really sarcastic?
He was really snarky the whole time. He essentially spent the whole time saying, "Yeah, my character's a real piece of shit, and you're just not meant to like him. You won't like him." But I enjoyed myself.
Well, I mean, sometimes you enjoy playing an asshole character.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just got a kick out of it.
Yeah,
I genuinely thought he was taking the piss out of the project for a second there, though.
Yeah, I mean, I got the idea that he probably did enjoy playing this role. Simon Pegg doesn't very much play asshole roles.
This is true, especially not recently. He's been like just this quirky. He plays a lot of the same role, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He always plays like the same role. So he might have actually enjoyed this.
Yeah, what was it? Fucking. Oh god, what's the police one?
Oh, Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz. Yeah, he was an asshole in that one.
Okay, yeah, but everybody was an asshole in that
okay, so I don't think he was an asshole. He was a stick in the mud, though.
Okay, stick in the mud's fine. He was a bit of a dick too.
All right, fair enough.
But eventually warmed up.
Yeah, by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's like what Giancarlo Esposito fucking wants to play a good guy because he never plays good guys.
Let him play a good guy.
I'm rooting for you.
I really want to see him as Professor X. Yeah, I really do.
It'd be pretty good.
I'd managed to miss all of the cries for him to be Xavier until I read that. I was like, oh yeah, he could do it. Why not?
Yeah.
But he's always typecast as like the bad guy.
This is what happens when you have resting bitch face and the ability to stare someone down to their very soul.
Yeah. True. He does that very well.
Like he talks down very well.
Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to hear Simon Pegg's performance as headmaster. Like historically within within the Harry Potter, this guy is apparently the last Slytherin, so maybe he did something pretty bad.
I mean, he's a Slytherin, right? They already have a bad reputation, eh?
True, yeah. And they have like the next Slytherin like headmaster after him is Snape, so
Yeah, long
Oh.
tenured that one was.
Yeah. But Snape was a good guy, right? he was
Um,
he was
he
an asshole.
was
I don't know
ambiguous.
about. Yeah, it's like, I don't know about good guy. Snape was complicated.
Yeah, he was an
Not
anti-hero.
always in a good
There we
way.
go. He's an anti-hero. Yeah, it'll be interesting. So, two topics tonight. All right, they're gonna involve two companies that are pretty bad.
True.
First, and it's not Ubisoft. It's not people at Ubisoft's fault. It's particularly one person at Ubisoft. So
I'd wager it's more than the one, but
well, it doesn't help when your super boss is also this much of a dick.
correct.
Yeah.
So Ubisoft canceled 3 unannounced titles on top of the 4 that they canceled last year. And they delayed Skull and Bones again. So we're
If
just
you
never
buy
getting
that game full price, you deserve whatever experience you get.
Yeah, I have gray market sites for that. So, on top of that, the stocks have been taking a nosedive due to, well, I mean, the last game that they really, released was Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like 2020. So, all the other games that they have had in the works are either being delayed, canceled, or just don't exist anymore, or just didn't exist at all, most likely. On top of that, there was also an email from Yves Guillemot, the CEO, telling the staff that next year, being this year, 2020, is crucial, and that the ball is in their court, as in the workers' court, to deliver games on time and on budget. Pretty much telling them that the failures that they've had within the past year or so is on them. And
Yeah,
not
I
management.
am raging at this comment. He is so fucking out of touch.
Absolutely staggering.
It's like, I think Dalit had the right words when this came out. Dude, the nuts on this guy.
The testicular fortitude required to say something so stupid to the people that are literally the foundation of your whole company. Especially in today's age where strikes, foreshadowing, are becoming more and more common because bloody devs are recognizing that, hey, yeah, you really don't have shit without me.
Yeah. You know what's pretty bad? It's pretty bad because not even fuckface over at Blizzard sent out an email this bad. How you gonna one up Bobby Kotick and his appearance of being like the shit CEO?
It is staggering that he would imply that it is the fault of his workers that the company is in rough shape, and not the constant executive meddling and the routine need to make more money, not just profitable, but more money every single year, just
Yeah.
wringing the very life out of all of your workers, not just for profit, but for all of the profit.
Really? Blah, blah, blah.
I heard something very interesting last week when listening to the good boys over at Gig Boots. All right, they were comparing the worker size of different video game companies. All right, apparently Ubisoft easily has 3 to 4 times the amount of workers that companies that are actually should be bigger than they actually are bigger than Ubisoft have. The amount of studios that Ubisoft has that actually do not produce anything is staggering. They have in the tens of thousands of workers. All right, while companies like Blizzard or EA have like less than 6,000. They have multiple studios across the entire world that literally have done nothing. Mainly due to the bad management style that Ubisoft, I guess, tends to go for. I agree with them and say that I do not think Ubisoft lasts to next year.
No,
I
I wish I could.
Whole of
agree with that.
Ubisoft? I'm not sure
the
about
whole.
that.
No, I actually think that it would be better if the company went bankrupt for the gaming
No,
market.
They're still hiring for projects and stuff. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that.
I imagine if
they have
anything
tens
happens,
of thousands of workers. Why would they be hiring? Why should they be hiring? They shouldn't be hiring.
Ubisoft is a global company.
Exactly. What I think we might
and they haven't released anything in years.
That is a problem. But what I think we might see is the closure of certain studios.
Yes.
And consolidating resources into fewer studios with a more focused drive. I can't get over the fact that we've lost like 7 games in the past year and a handful of months. That's just awful management. I don't know who to blame other than management on that.
Yeah.
Do you know what the price of stock for Ubisoft is right now?
No, I can't imagine it's good, but I can't actually imagine it's
$4.29.
That is much less than I expected.
Oh god.
Shit.
Yeah.
I imagine we will see, especially with this upcoming shenanigans. We're going to see a bunch of layoffs. Despite them still hiring, we're going to see a bunch of layoffs, and we are going to see, maybe the closure of whatever small studios they can be rid of, and we're probably going to see UB Montreal and UB. What's the other big headquarters?
I can't recall, but yeah.
Paris.
Well, I assume there's actually one in Montreal, France, as well. But and maybe a London studio. But I imagine we're going to see like smaller studios that they own just absolutely shut down in favor of consolidating stuff. If there wasn't an interest in the company, Guillemot would have just sold and not returned.
No, he won. Nobody's wanting to buy Ubisoft. All right, there's been interest in selling it. That's what the whole the rumors of beginning of last year were.
I cannot believe that no one wants what Ubisoft has to offer.
No, because you know what? You know it's going to be cheaper. Ubisoft goes bankrupt and they just pick up the IPs.
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. But it also relies on Ubisoft failing, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see them doing.
Do you think they'll pull a Square Enix and sell IPs?
I mean, so here's the. Well, yeah, I mean they could.
I don't remember what Ubisoft has IP wise that isn't just Tom Clancy, Assassin's Creed.
Wasn't it who sold Tomb Raider and stuff? Am I mixing up info?
No, you're right. That was
Yeah.
They sold the
Idios
studios.
too.
They sold
but also the IPs that went along with it though.
Correct. I think it's a possibility. I don't even think it's a terrible idea for them because they clearly only care about like 3 or 4 IPs.
Well, here's the thing. All right. The reason why Guillemot is still head of it because his children don't want anything to do with the company. All right. No other big studio has, I guess, made an offer to like actually buy it. Because again, if Ubisoft goes down, they can pick up the IPs for a lot cheaper, and they can also scalp the workers for pretty quickly. It makes a lot more sense if other companies just let Ubisoft die. Like their shares are literally $4.29. $4.29. All right, that is Ubisoft. Literally is almost worth nothing at this point in time. If they don't have a big management change, they're going to go down. And this is and like you said, this is a global studio. This is a global company. They would have to have a massive management change to even bring this back from the dust. So I do not think Ubisoft lasts till next year.
Yeah, I'm still willing to take you up on that bet because I think they do, but admittedly, I have no real reason to think this.
Yeah, I mean, Skull and Bones has been in development for the past 7 to 8 years. All right.
Let's not even that's a funny call out, but there's an even funnier call out, and its name is Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
true.
yeah,
Beyond Good and Evil.
that's true.
Yeah, let's
Beyond
if you just want to make this company look awful, Beyond Good and Evil is the game to go for. That game has been a mess since like literally ever.
That game has been in development longer than Duke Nukem Forever was.
Like
Oh my God, really?
genuinely, there's no saving that.
Yeah.
When was that last trailer out?
Years ago.
Oh
Yeah.
God, you just I totally forgot about it.
Everyone seems to have forgotten because everyone is focused on Skull and Bones because admittedly it's been delayed like 6 times or something now.
Oh,
but my
God.
head goes directly to Beyond Good and Evil because I played the original. I liked it. I don't know that it needed a sequel, and that sequel seems to be biting them in the ass. So I kind of do get a bit of a kick out of that. But
it's vaporware. What it is.
Oh yeah, that game. Genuinely, that game is never coming out. I will be more than just surprised if that game ever launches.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm not a company person. I literally work
maybe
at
they'll just
Walgreens, so I don't know what I
cut
know.
development and just be a publisher.
Maybe. I mean, who knows?
To be fair, I mean, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how to parse this situation for them.
I mean, I guess we'll know by the end of the year or something. Like, I mean, the only game that they had, like, I guess, structured to come out this year was Skull and Bones. They did announce they did announce multiple Assassin's Creed games, but I don't think we've gotten like release timing for those either.
Oh yeah, the one in Japan and stuff, right?
Yeah.
China, Japan. There was whatever which one was I've forgotten.
There's a bunch.
Yeah,
Hexen,
they have like I said, this company has a lot to offer, but it is strictly from like 3 IPs. Maybe 4, and I just can't remember the last one.
On top of that, the Paris workers are now in protest due to the comments made by Guillemot. So I mean,
it's looking to be about a week or 10 days from now that there will be a proper line going up. So
yeah. So Ubisoft looking like the company in the most dire strait now, just due to shit management. Not that hard, people. All right, you just treat your workers like they're fucking human beings. Literally all you do. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worse than that though, because it's like Ubisoft has not been immune to the treating workers like crap. This is just greed. Yeah, this is just like someone who sees, oh, the investors won't like it if we don't make more money than last year, and that's the big problem with publicly traded companies, is that it has to be year over year, otherwise it doesn't matter, and that inevitably hurts the business. Yeah, because it means you have to use people as if they're tools and not people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Rough times.
Yep. Moving on to another company that doesn't release video games anymore. Microsoft and Bethesda are going to be holding a Developers Direct live stream on January 25th. Going to update games like Forza, Redfall, Minecraft Legends, and The Elder Scrolls Online. These are
okay.
we don't even know what the next Forza game is going to be. Redfall got delayed again, apparently internally, but to May 3rd. I think the the rumor release date now is May 3rd for Redfall. Minecraft Legends is Minecraft, and The Elder Scrolls Online is a game that's been out for the past
Yeah, that's been pretty
5 to 7
consistent,
years.
really.
Yeah.
And aside from a bit of stumbling at the beginning, it seems like it's done very well for them.
Yeah.
but it's nothing new, really.
True.
No, that's right. It's just probably updates, expand. Maybe it's another expansion. I feel like they've done one recently though.
I don't follow. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. But the thing was, the games that were mentioned here are games that are supposed to be coming out within the coming months or whatever, and that kind of puts up a red flag because Starfield's not on this list, and it was supposed to come out within the first half of 2023, but there are rumors going around saying Starfield might be getting delayed again.
Surprise!
So
I'm not surprised at all because it seems like such a big game.
no, but that's the games always get delayed.
To be fair, during the trailer, I wonder if this is the case. During the trailer, people were pleased that it didn't look like Fallout. It didn't look as buggy as Fallout and the previous Elder Scroll games. But also, they were immediately noticing that's not a solid 60.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is mostly just Microsoft and Bethesda being kind of worried and saying okay, maybe we should optimize before launch instead of relying on bug fixes.
Yeah, that's. I hope they do that.
That would be smart.
It would be very un-Bethesda, but hey, it would be very welcomed.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that'll be interesting. I'm off 25th, so I guess I could watch this developer direct live stream, depending on the time that it happens. Which I'm assuming it'll be earlier on in the day, because if it happens anywhere near 8 o'clock, I'm watching an anime movie theater that day. So
Is that Slime's Day?
Yeah, it's Slime Day.
Oh my.
So that'll be interesting. More Microsoft stuff. Employees are now getting unlimited time off. It will no longer require U.S. employees to formally record their vacation time, and they will be getting a payout for any unused days that they have.
You know what immediately goes to my head,
Please
which
say.
is good for America, which is maternity leave. They can take decent maternity leave now.
Okay,
so
I'm
here's
happy
the issue with that.
I'm happy we both went to the same place, because when this news came out, Twitter was not happy. It was very not happy. There was a whole lot of this is a trap going on, and my first thought was, are Americans so brain broken we don't realize a good thing when we see it? However, it was pointed out to me that this is a clever way of not paying for time off, owed time off upon being fired. And I don't know if that makes the biggest deal, if that's even a reasonable argument. I genuinely don't. This isn't me downplaying the importance of all this. I'm not aware of this. I've never been in a position where I've had to worry about that.
Whoa.
So, the internet's first cry about this was this is a scam. This is something that's meant to sound good on paper, but is in fact not a very good thing. However, I still feel as though this is just Americans not used to being able to trust anyone. Because, like you said, my first thought was, well, this is proper sick leave and a chance for families to have a couple months together after the birth. This is maternity leave and the ability to take care of your wife when she's had a kid.
Here's the question though. Is it unlimited paid time off?
So hear me out on this.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Hear me out. It doesn't matter. Because what this should mean is you're not able to be fired for taking time off for legitimate reasons, such as sickness or, as has been correctly pointed out, birth.
Yeah.
I imagine this is not all paid. I imagine it's not, because you won't pay unlimited without
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
hard cap. But I imagine there will be amount of it that is, and that will cap out at some point.
Yeah, like I think in some countries they pay full pay and then it tapers off basically the longer you take it off. But yeah. I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, it says in the. What am I reading? And getting payout for an unused days.
Wait, no, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I wasn't thinking. It's
Yeah.
unlimited PTO.
Oh,
Is it
okay.
The
unlimited PTO?
TO is peed.
Oh well, I
Like,
mean the thing
had to
that I
think
read
about
just
that.
said unlimited time off. It didn't say unlimited paid.
No, it's unlimited PTO, and
No.
I knew that, and still said the stupid thing I said.
Oh, okay.
Like I knew this. It's such a forward concept for an American. I'm like, no, it's not paid. Don't be fucking stupid. No, yeah, the again, the time off is paid. The TO is
okay.
paid. So I imagine it's going to come down to there will be some pressure put on if you take an extended amount of time, and there probably is some fine print to this.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
unlimited paid time off is not obviously unlimited. It's
Yeah.
meant to be read as this is a reasonable amount of time off for you to take during an emergency.
Yeah.
All right. I mean that's
Or
good.
necessity type of thing.
Now, I
Yeah.
purposefully cut you off very early, Aqua. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No.
'Cause
I was just specifically saying because like everything that I read didn't specifically say PTO. It said just unlimited time off.
Yeah,
Like the thing that you linked still says Microsoft employees
Time
are
off,
getting unlimited time off.
I read a couple of things, and it did seem to be shifted to paid time off specifically.
They're calling it discretionary time off. Is what Microsoft is
That's
calling
probably a much better way to phrase it, to be honest.
Okay.
I have high hopes for this, just because I think America is, like I said, a brain broken country where we don't realize that like companies do need to not only have but enforce a minimum time off. Like,
Yeah.
you need to take off these days
Yeah.
because your health. And I have no idea how we have human resource teams, but we don't have anyone saying that this time off is something that is expected. You need to take it for your own well-being.
Yeah, now that I'm reading it, the change will start on the 16th. Means the new Microsoft new Microsoft employees don't need to wait to accrue vacation time anymore. Microsoft will offer
I hadn't even considered that.
Will offer 10 corporate holiday leaves, leave of absence, and sick and mental health time off, and time away for jury or bereavement alongside with new unlimited time off policy. Employees that have unused vacation time as of right now, if they have vacation time and it's not used, they will get a one-time payout.
Yeah. Brilliant. I hope this is actually a good thing. I hope I'm not being like terribly optimistic and
Yeah,
just like
same.
not seeing this for the trap that like everyone else obviously sees it for. I'll feel really silly if like everyone called them out and I was like, no, you're being ridiculous. Only to be shown, yeah, no, they were right to be suspicious.
No, it was ridiculous.
No, it was too good to be true.
No.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
Our last bit of Microsoft-esque news, according to Insider Gaming and the Xbox Era podcast, there is a possible scale-bound revival in the works between Platinum Games and Microsoft again.
I'm so surprised.
I genuinely am.
Yeah, same.
Mostly because I know that Platinum and Microsoft, like, they had a very aggressive falling out over this. I forget the specifics because it's been a few years. But also, I'd love for this game to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of failed projects that we can look back on, and I will happily say, no, that was probably a good thing that failed. This is not one of them. I think this is such a big, stupid fucking project. I would love to see it happen. And I think, like, I still think that Platinum is the only company I really want making a character action game that also involved dragons. I mean, Square Enix doesn't really do that anymore, so
I mean, Square Enix is doing that right now.
there are dragons in Final Fantasy 16.
There's no way there's not a fucking dragon in Final Fantasy 16. Let's be fucking real here.
No. Sorry, let me rephrase this. When I say dragons, I mean like clearly that we will be riding them and walking into them and doing shenanigans
while
like
listening
that.
to cool music.
Fuck yeah, because that's clearly just Nero on the front. Like I refuse I refuse to say that bloody Capcom didn't look at that and just go, we're snagging that design because people said Nero looked too feminine.
I was like, I was like, just really like, I mean, it's Yoshi P. 16's gonna.
There will be
gonna
dragons.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's gonna be dragons in the same way that I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. True. But you know what? 16's still gonna be better than Scalebound, no matter what.
Look, man, I'm not arguing that. You're probably fucking right, eh?
Yeah.
I'm still super excited at that, and it's so far away.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, it's not that far away. You know, July will be here before you know
It better not be.
it.
I don't need time passing that fast, man. I'm old enough as it is.
Time won't pass fast. It's just your perception of time might pass fast.
Well, then I hope that I perceive time moving at a fucking snail's pace.
No, it'll be like that end scene from freaking, what was that movie? Saving Private Ryan. You just
oh my god! I just suddenly become old.
An unannounced League of Legends story game titled Mage Seeker, starring Silas, has been rated in Korea. It joins a couple of other announced titles like Convergence, a League of Legends story, and the Song of Nunu, a League of Legends story.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand League of Legends. Yeah, I can't stand that game. It's a miracle that I can stand Overwatch, and I'm starting to lose my patience with that because it's just turning into League of Legends but with guns. However, the games that aren't League of Legends,
pretty good.
Superb.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you play that Wonderland one?
The Wonderland one?
The one that's supposed to be like
I know the Ziggs one and the Ruined King one.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't there one like some Trixie's Wonderland or something like that? I can't remember. Am I just going crazy?
If you remember, let me know. If you tell me the name, it'll probably jog the memory.
Holy fuck, I'm doing that now. Carry on talking.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, of the games that I have played that they have released that aren't League, they've been brilliant. Like, they got the Battle Chasers group to do Ruined King, and
yeah, that was really good. I haven't finished it, but it was what I played was good.
Riot, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm talking directly to you now. I know you're redesigning Ari to be in line with her Wild Rift stuff, and you'll do the same thing for Fortune. Fuck that. These are the designs you need to steal. Pay the boys at, was it Red? I forget the name of the company that does it now. Pay them the rights to have that, to own that design. Because Ari looks amazing, Fortune looks amazing, Braum looks amazing, Yasuo, amazing. Everyone looked so good. And then there was the Ziggs game, which is it's a rhythm game. It uses explosions. It's kind of brilliant. Like the amount of creativity on display from staff has been amazing. And frankly, all the best things about League have never had to do with the game itself. The most profitable thing they've ever done is KDA. And that is legitimately a pop group, a K-pop group. J-pop? K-pop, yeah.
K-pop. It's you're talking about Airship Syndicate.
Airship Syndicate, brilliant. I don't know why I want to say Red Air Balloon. Airship Syndicate. They produced a brilliant game. I actually really hope Silas is a similar game type. I don't suspect it will be, but I'd be really about these two groups working closely with one another. I would love another Ruined King game. I
I
love
don't know
battle
what
chasers too.
I don't know what convergence is, but I'm assuming it has something to do with Echo.
It stands to reason. Oh, holy crap! I haven't even gotten into the fact that Project L looks amazing.
Oh yeah, Project L does look pretty good.
Yeah, and it's got a bunch of people hyped. They've hit high notes on so many things. Also, is Convergence the 2D side scroller with Echo?
Yeah. It's. I'm looking at it right now
Yeah.
on Steam.
Is it out?
No, it's coming soon.
Okay,
What
okay.
Steam
I'm
says.
saying I didn't play it if it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't hate League of Legends from like a art and their team's workflow reason. No, I hate it for the same reason I hate most multiplayer games. People are shit. Like they're absolute garbage, and I don't mean they're bad at the game. Some of the best players are just horrible people.
But their story is pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Arcane was amazing.
the lore is all right. Some of the lore, when they really focus down on it, as you've just pointed out, Arcane becomes astounding, genuinely great. And when they want to put money into a project, they do, and you can tell, and that polish shows. It's spectacular. I look forward to it immensely.
We did get some unfortunate news today, even though it might not actually be unfortunate. But Atelier Ryza 3 is being delayed. Atelier Ryza 3, The Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key, being
No, not the
delayed.
thighs.
Yeah, not the thighs. Being delayed by 1 month exactly, from February 24th to March 24th.
Oh, interesting. It's just short delay.
Yeah. They had a message from the producer. We apologize for this delay. Everybody who's been looking forward to the release of Atelier Ryza 3. In order to make this game a fitting finale for Ryza and her friends, we have taken on challenges such as adventures in a vast open field and graphics that express the charm of these characters to the fullest extent. Our team will take on this additional time to fine-tune the final touches, so that we can deliver to all of you who have been following the series for the best possible experience in this culmination of Ryza and her friends' adventures.
Well, more power to him.
Making the game even better to make it worth your wait. So we appreciate your patience for just a little bit more for the game's release. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I'll be done with Ryza 2 before Ryza 3 comes out in general. But I mean, it's a month delay, so it's literally just like more polish. So you can't go wrong with more polish.
I mean, it's a month. They couldn't possibly be doing anything else, right?
No, yeah, it's literally like I assume this game will be its scale will be quite a bit bigger than Ryza 2 is, and Ryza 2 scale is pretty big. So I assume that there's probably some pretty vast open worldish type areas in the third game. So they probably just want to work on the performance probably being a bit better, which is good. I like it
I've no actual playtime in that series, but as much as I joke about thighs, it's got 3 games in it. It must be doing something right. Not to mention games in the other Atelier sub-series. So
let me tell you. Well, so Atelier is it'll just continue on further and further and further.
Yeah, it'll find a new girl. It'll start that, and we'll have a very Final Fantasy-esque adventure.
No, not even that. Like way less than Final Fantasy.
Well, no, but what I mean is that the games don't necessarily.
Oh yeah, they're not. They're connected in some ways. Like characters will make appearances in games that's not theirs.
Oh, all right.
Like some of the earlier Atelier games were like in the same universe, or at least in the same like world area. I'm not sure how Ryza fits in with that. It's probably same world, but like definitely way off from where the others are at, because I haven't seen any other like reoccurring characters from other Atelier games. But Ryza gets all these sequels because her thighs Everybody, people buy. A lot of people buy the game. I mean, generally the games are fun, but people are drawn to the game because of said thighs.
I absolutely hate to say that that's true because I didn't know anything about the Atelier games until Ryza because she got all of the merch. Like
She's
genuinely,
got so
genuinely,
many,
her
so many
thighs were on
figures.
so many figures
That's so funny.
and T-shirts, and I was suddenly like, "Oh, so this is like a real thing." Got it. Good to know. I just thought it was like a cute indie thing.
It took Atelier Sophie. It took Sophie to get like 6 to 10 years to get a sequel. they Ryza's gotten 2 sequels in the past like 4 years. So
That's
Yeah, so
unfortunate.
forget 5 Saves Lives, it's 5 Saves Franchise.
No
yeah,
joke.
yeah.
Thirsty.
The only issue I have with the Atelier games or whatever is that Gust and Koei Tecmo just do not want to put in the time to get it voice acted by like English voice acted. And I'm just like, I'm so mad because I enjoyed the English voices for Sophie. And then when I go into Sophie 2, I'm going to be really sad because they didn't English voice act Sophie 2. So but it's okay. It's okay. Atelier Ryza 2 is pretty fun. I don't know how far I'm into this game. Like 15 hours. And the gameplay in it's really fun. So yeah. All you people waiting for Ryza 3, you gotta wait one more month. All right. I think our last news before Leak takes over the fucking reins is
Yeah.
Black Myth Wukong has a launch window of summer 2024. Again, still perpetuating that a Chinese game, a AAA Chinese game has yet to come out that has been announced yet. And
I misread this at first. I thought it was scheduled for this summer, and I was super excited.
Then it said 2024. And then he looked at it again and was like, oh no!
No, then I read the comments, and I realized, oh, I misread that. Okay.
Yeah.
Someone did put out like there were a couple of comments that stood out to me. One of them was, why do people keep announcing games so far in advance? Which, by the way, I back you on that. I recognize that there's a reason for this. I understand that, but I also think that this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
The other one that stood out to me was the answer to that question was the first trailer was there to get investors and as a marketing so they could get more developers on. And the team announced that was a spectacular success.
Yeah.
Because like they got everyone they needed to show interest, apply, and get swooped up for that job.
It's like with Lost Soul Aside. Lost Soul Aside, first, when the guy first announced it or whatever, he was just him. And then a couple years later, he finally got a couple of extra people to work on it, and then that's finally picked up by Sony, and now Sony's like, here, we're just gonna throw people at you.
The only difference is Wukong made that trailer with that in mind. There was their plan to get more people. Where with Lost Soul Aside, it's just been we like what you're doing, and you clearly are gonna want some help if you want this out within the next 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I just there hasn't been a single like AAA Chinese game that isn't Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
That has been announced within like the past 5 to 10 years that has released. So, and I'm just like sitting here like, come on, like all these games look really fucking cool. Can I please have them? Can I please have them?
I really like Wukong's design as well.
Yeah, it's quite good.
It looks so fucking good. It just, man, waiting until, this better be a next gen exclusive game, because 2024 is a little too. I think way past the time that people need to be releasing PlayStation 4 games. So, hopefully, we'll see.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. while you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
All right, leak. It is time.
It is time.
Release the leak.
Actually, before that, I finally found out what I brain farted out about
earlier.
Yeah, I got mixed up with Borderlands.
Oh, Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like,
I should have
Trixie?
known by
Who
what you
fucking
said.
Trixie? Like, no. It begins with T at least. Okay, yeah, cool. So that's out the way. I can shut that bit off my brain.
Yeah.
So yes, I would like to say there. Oh god. So I was thinking how to tackle all the news about the OGL, like all I mentioned from last week. But because since then, there's been absolutely fuck ton of stuff that's happened.
Oh yeah,
so much.
Holy
crap!
Yeah. So much stuff. And I was thinking, how the hell am I going to squeeze all this in without just making its own video, because there's so much to cover. So what I decided to do is basically I will talk about official responses, because that's easy to go over. I'll break down new leaks that happened throughout the week, and also a little bit this week too, and go over the most recent events, because right up until literally, was it today or yesterday, more stuff happened, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I need to finish this writing. Stop it, internet. So yeah, okay. So first, I'll go over the official response by Wizards of the Coast via the D&D Beyond account. They broke this on Twitter, because this happened right after people was like, we're going to stop our subs on D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were forced to reply after that. So
that's because one of the metrics that they see D&D as like how many subscriptions does D&D Beyond have? Whatever. That's like their big meter of,
really,
is this a good idea or is this a bad idea? And they saw all of their fucking subscriptions being canceled, and they were like, okay.
Yeah, it actually crashed their website
idea.
at one point too.
Did they?
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go over this response. I'll just read it because it isn't that long. And then you'll mention, like, I'll actually go over the D&D Beyond stuff later as well. But here is the official response by Wizards of the Coast. Ahem. When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D with Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs by making clear that the OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. And third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations who use their own commercial and promotional purpose. Monopoly. So, driving these goals were two simple principles. One, our job is to be good stewards of the game. And two, the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles has wavered for a second. Ahem.
Bullshit.
That was why our early drafts of the new OGL included the provisions they did. That draft language. Yeah, I called this out last week. The draft language was provided to content creators and publishers, so their feedback. So they don't deny what was leaked last week. That actually was given out to publishers, so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarify what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. However, it is clear from the reactions that we rolled at A1, this was becoming clear that there is no longer possible to fully achieve all three goals while still staying true to our principles. So here is what we are doing. The next OGL So 1.1 is not the thing. Will
No,
contain
2.0.
the provisions that will allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build, and specify that it covers only content for tabletop RPGs. That means that other expressions such as educational and charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplays, virtual tabletop uses, etc., will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Content already released under 1.0a will also remain unaffected. Oh, they changed that this week.
Yeah, they
Okay.
went back on that. Yeah.
They changed that this week. What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It will also not include the license back provisions that some people are afraid was a means for us to steal work. That thought never crossed our minds,
No, surely no, never.
Under any new OGL, you will own the content you create. We won't. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal. On that point, I read that wrong. The license back language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work because of coincidental similarities. As we continue to invest the game that we love and move forward with partnerships in film, television, and digital games, that risk is simply too great to ignore. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will also do it with a license back and without suggesting we have rights to the content you create. Your ideas and imaginations are what makes this game special, and what belongs to you, and that belongs to you. That is also something that I'm worried about this week after what I saw. A couple of last thoughts. Excuse me. First, we won't be able to release the new GL today, and they didn't, because we need to make sure we get it right. But it is coming at some point. Second, we are going to hear people say that they oh god, this sentence. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we.
Oh, yeah,
It's so stupid. Last paragraph. Our plan was always to solicit the input of our community before any update to the OGL. The drafts you've seen were attempting to do just that. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. And we realize that we did not do that this time, and we are sorry for that. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which provisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change that this major could only have been done well if we were willing to take that feedback, no matter how it was provided. So we are. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't, and what you need and what scares you. Without knowing that, we wouldn't do our part to make the new OGL match our principles. Finally, we'd appreciate the chance to make this right. We love D&D's devoted fans, and the creators take them on so many incredible adventures. We won't let you down. And breathe. Okay,
So, question.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't it just be better if companies just actually said what they meant? All right, what they were
not for them.
What they were wanting to do instead of all this corporate doublespeak.
Again, not for them. Holy shit! There's so many companies that would bury themselves.
I would have much rather them come out and been like, all right, you caught us. All right, we understand. We tried doing something. It was bad. All right.
Yeah.
To your credit, yeah, it would have been nice to hear like a proper apology.
It would be a sincere apology. Would be nice. But this is condescending in places.
Oh yeah,
shit, they don't even have to apologize. And I'm like, you got us, guys. You're right. We did try to do something fucked. We will not do that. I don't even need an apology.
Yeah.
Everybody knew what they were doing. All right. The worst part is them treating us like we're dumb.
Yeah. So naturally, as you can hear from both Dollar and Aqua, this sentiment was echoed throughout the whole community. They did not believe this response one bit. And the sub deletions and unsubscribing continued to this day and onward, I assume. Yeah. So, where am I now? then there was sometime last week, or was it a few days ago anyway, there was the OGL 2.0 FAQ. Now, I must stress it is an FAQ, not a new OGL, but it was something else that was handed to certain content creators and so on, and then leaked to other sources and so on and so forth. This was their attempt to basically soothe any worries about what was in the 1.1 OGL and what they planned to fix it and how to fix it and stuff like that. So there was also sources that people couldn't name, of course, because I suspect it was from people within the company too. So, I mean, if it is true that, like, holy cat, they clearly, like, the one thing that happened this week also, people started attacking employees of Wizard of the Coast, and I will say now, please don't do that. They are just people that got a job they really loved and wanted to really pour their heart into it. The regular employees of that company are not the bad guys. Stop harassing them. Anyway, yeah, and they've even gone, like, put their necks on the chopping block, really. It's dangerous to leak stuff, right? They could lose their job, so they clearly care. So, you know, where was I? So, yeah, the FAQ did not, in fact, soothe people's worries. It kind of actually made people worry even more. I'm not going to read the FAQ itself because it's like it's snippets of it throughout the internet. There's like snippets through videos and snippets through tweets and stuff. There isn't one publicly available. I don't think so the creators that were able to talk about it could release a full copy of it. But there are videos that do talk about it. There's D&D Shorts for one. There was people I mentioned last week who released the original 1.1. There's loads of people. You could find videos. I will actually have them linked in the description of this video so you can read it, look at it, listen to yourself. But I will go over one tweet by Griff and Saddleback. This is a guy where, like, is known. He releases his own, like, supplements and stuff, and he was one of the creators that got to see the FAQ, and he is very worried what he saw, and I'll just read his tweet. So OGL 2.0's FAQ was leaked to a handful of creators yesterday. In it, they lie about 1.1 being a draft and hide doubling down on bad choices with a couple of partial concessions. 1.0a is the only way forward. It doesn't matter what they give up in any of these drafts. And then he sort of posts a screenshot of something, which I shall read. I think it's just like a summary of what he read and the bits he did not like about it. Wizards of the Coast is doing everything in its power to turn the camera away from itself in this moment. At its heart, there is nothing more than classic corporate greed corrupting a beautiful game enjoyed by millions of players. Obviously, this is an emotional reaction because people care about this hobby and job as well. This is something that people literally put their lives into. Under the OGL 2.0, it's still renders Kickstarter unfeasible. For reference, if Wizards had to pay this much for their revenue, they'd be bankrupt too. The next one is disallows virtual tabletop content on platforms like Foundry and Alchemy. Now, lots of people use Foundry. I've used it for lots of games, so that being disallowed is quite worrying, which is a huge portion of the tabletop RPG community wants to enjoy their games. OGL 2.0 enables Wizards is enforcing a monopolistic stranglehold over the future of online tabletop play. The next point is not an open license by definition. Open means open, legally allowing others to freely build with, customize, or improve their work without costs and minimal restrictions on modifications. Next point, forces creators into a one-sided contract just to make the content they were already planning to do under 1.0a. They can't benefit from the grace period without agreeing to OGL 2.0. There was like a grace period that was talked about in the FAQ. It's like if you join, there's like 6-month grace period, but you have to sign for this to apply. Claims that large companies are the reason for these changes. despite the fact there are no company has taken money or even threatened to remotely overshadow them by using D&D. So, yeah, so they talk about, oh, we're doing this to protect it from other companies monopolizing and taking over our stuff. It's like Wizards of the Coast is the biggest company that
Correct.
Yeah, I
has.
know, right?
Absolutely.
Like, what the fuck are they talking about? All right. And then the next point, content, not their protected IP. Even Pathfinder, who is now so far removed from the original material, is a minuscule compared to the massive scale of Wizards of the Coast, which I just said. Next point, turns an issue of openness into an opportunity for Wizards to divide and conquer. This company makes, oh my god, 1,300,000. What, I don't even know this number. 1,300,000, so it's like millions a year. And it's a vilified company that makes 750,000, the equivalent of what they make in 5.5 hours. So I mentioned last week 750,000 was the cap you needed to, and after that you'd have to make pay royalties.
Yeah, 25% of your royalties, by the way.
Yeah. Of 1.9. They scaled it back in the FAQ saying, oh, this time it'll be 20%. How generous. Next point, lies about 1.1 being a draft. Drafts do not come with contracts attached. It was never called a draft in their meetings with creators, in the same meetings where they were supposed to feel safest, according to Wizards. Next point, final point, unfairly punishes and cripples countless small businesses that have been following the truly open and community-friendly 1.10a OGL's rules and using only open content without violating or misusing any of Wizards' IP for 23 years. Regardless of the partial concessions made under OGL 2.0, it's still abundantly clear that the powers at Wizards of the Coast reportedly do not see D&D players as people, but as obstacles between them and their money. The only answer is to leave 1.0a untouched. If they want to make one D&D requires signing 2.0, that's up to them. So this is, I'll just reiterate, this is Griffin Saddleback's personal account. So this is why it's posted like in this format. So yeah,
Man,
FAQ.
good thing Paizo exists.
Yeah, actually, that's coming up next. So during the week last week, PaizoRPG and others such as Kobold Press, there are a few others as well that was also doing this sort of thing. Announced a system neutral open RPG license. So system neutral is across the board you can use it for your materials and stuff you make. There is it's way too long. I think I'm running over time really. So I will link Paizo's thing as well.
Yeah.
It's on their website. You can read it for yourself. But not just Paizo, as I mentioned, even smaller third party are like making their own versions of the OGL.
Yeah.
Or making they're like even Creative Commons stuff as well, like their opening thing. Is actually the whole community is coming together to try to make sure that this doesn't happen again. What's happening with the Wizards of the Coast, essentially.
The important thing about Paizo was that not only are they making their own, what they're calling their orc license, which is something that's going to be entirely neutral, that's going to be divvied out by it's going to be owned by a law firm which the person at the law firm specific actually he's the one that wrote the original OGL. They also said that they would be up for litigating against Wizards of the Coast from trying to deauthorize the original OGL.
Yeah.
Because they believe, because two of the people that are working on Paizo's side were the people that were there that wrote the original OGL, and they believe that it is written in a way that it should not be it was written to not be deauthorized at all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say, as an aside, we don't want repeats of a large company taking advantage of the community, right? And also freelancers and stuff. Now, I'm going to point out, Paizo You're gonna have to do better on this because you pay artists very fucking poorly, really, really poorly. Like, I will give an example. Actually, cropped up last week too. A bunch of artists came forward saying, one from Jason Rainville, who's worked on Magic the Gathering and other D&D products and other tabletop products. It was less than what I worked for. There was a quoted tweet, sorry, by Zabi Gatsula on Twitter, Zabi Gatsi. So Paizo raised the amount quite a bit at the end of 2021, but these were the rates they sent me as an artist. Still very low for a company with their renown. So a full page illustration, $800. Now that sounds good, but think about it. Artists spend a lot of time on one image, and 800 a month is not going to cut it, because a full page image takes a fucking long time to do, especially with the detail that they require as well. Just imagine art from a D&D book or Magic the Gathering like image, right? It's very detailed. It's fully fucking
so
painted.
good.
800
Their
is
artists
not
are so
enough.
good. They're not being paid enough.
Yeah, 800, not good. Half page, $400. Also, that's still, you still require a lot of time, a lot of detail in an image. The person I mentioned previously also gave an example of what he did for Paizo, because he actually worked for them. 400 for that is laughable. It really is. I will also, I guess, I've got it on my Twitter feed. I'll probably just relink them on the
Yeah, you just link them in the channel, and I'll put them in the description.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that later. Yeah, and then like football characters, 175. That's less than what I asked for. That's less what I asked for for a personal commission. That's stupid. That's really bad. Yeah, so yeah. Paizo, you are getting more and more and more and more people like subscribing to Pathfinder now. You can fuckingly definitely pay people more. That is really bad. Please.
No company's perfect.
If you want to show that you're the big hero of the day, please step up, please. Okay, I don't know what it is on the writer's side. I'm sorry. I didn't find any examples of that. But I really hope that's a different story and you're paying your writers well. But please, artists get screwed over so much. Don't be one of those guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I will move on. D&D Beyond subscriptions and unsubscribing. It was a tidal wave. Now, I saw from one tweet that apparently, as of that tweet a few days ago, was D&D Beyond lost over 40k subs since last week.
Damn.
That's a lot. Okay, I got that information from.
How much is the D&D Beyond subscription?
Okay, there's two currently, and this is something I also want to talk about.
Important.
This is the hot shit here.
Yep.
Currently, it's like $2 something for the lower tier and $5 something. Yeah, it's $5 for the other one. There's two. There's that. That's decent.
They're actually really good. It's really good price to what you get, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you chip in with your DM just so that they have the higher version, it's absolutely worthwhile.
Yeah, that is decent at the moment. Okay, so this tweet was this number was from this tweet from Dungeon Scribe. He's the well-known thing. He's also been one that's to drive the hashtag OpenD&D and D&D Begone. There's that. Those are two hashtags that have been flying around. So
currently trending.
Yeah, currently trending actually. So they insist that they got a source from the company. Maybe, I don't know. It's a speculation. They say it's credible. It's just we have to take this with a grain of salt because it's not public, right? But they say in their tweet, if Wizards try to squeeze more money from you with these D&D Beyond changes, how would you feel? this is a list they give. $30 a month per player at the highest tier.
That was insane.
Deauthorization of OGL 1.3a. Huh? They insisted earlier that would never happen. Okay. Wait a second. Another point. Homebrew banned at base tiers.
Actually mental.
What the
Ooh.
fuck? That is insulting. And get this, stripped down gameplay for AIDMs.
Which is just
AIDMs?
weird. I mean,
AIDMs?
I certainly don't hate the concept of like maybe people don't have, but like,
Yeah.
oh, let that be something we find on our own. I don't want you taking care of that.
Yeah, so I'll go into it a little bit just with thoughts as well. So first my thoughts, and I'll go into other sources. So there was a mention last week, I mentioned a quote that they wanted to monetize D&D more, right? And they would go really going for D&D Beyond being the way they do it. So the $30 that is suggested here is top tier, and they'd be going all the way down to the lowest tier. Now they want it per player, and let's be real, not many people is gonna be able to afford a subscription. That was the beauty of D&D Beyond. Only the DM really needed the subscription, and the players could just basically be shared their material. That was fantastic, right? But if you have to have a subscription to even be a player, that's going to knock down people. Now, another thought, homebrew banned at base tier?
That's so insane.
So you have to, as a DM, go to the higher tiers, which is more expensive. And on top of that, buy the books. And on top of that, buy the stuff. And then if you want to add your homebrew, you have to really have the higher tiers. Homebrew is one of the main things that draw people to 5e, right? I don't even like smaller things like custom races or whatever, right? You can't be a goblin. You have to pay to be a goblin. Like, it's like no. It's even like just homebrewed rules. Like, you don't want to use your own. You don't want to use the base standard rules. You've got your own rules. For example,
I'm
death
kind of into
saving
the
throws,
cycle.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's right. Immediately where I went to. Custom weapons, custom items, custom whatever, right? No, you have to pay for it. Paying to do homebrew is stupid. People homebrew because they can't afford the books, right? That's another thing. It's ridiculous. Now, the AIDM, I don't know. I am not wholly against the idea. However, I see that because the homebrew stuff might actually, the homebrew and the having to pay a higher tier to use homebrew might actually drive away DMs. Now, the solution is, if there's no DMs for the players that have to pay to play, what shall we do? I know, we will be able to replace the DM that can't afford to do homebrew, and now we have an AI DM. Right? So people who can't afford to be a DM can just use the AI as a player. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, these are my thoughts anyway on this breakdown. It feels
DM is ridiculous. Where we are right now, maybe feed a bunch of information into an AI and let that help the current DM flesh things out. But I don't think an AI can DM on its own right now.
An AI is a tool to help the human DM. That's
just so.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, no. So I never thought about like this leak as well. I suspect, just like the whole draft scenario, they're going to say, "Oh no, it wasn't 30. That's ridiculous."
Oh yes, 100%. They're going to backtrack on this.
Yeah, of course they will. So, but yeah, so 30 at highest versus 5 something at highest, right? Ridiculous. That's such a jump. So like I said, I don't know. The most shocking thing for me was the homebrew change. That I wasn't surprised about the authorization, because that was clearly on the books.
How you gonna stop people from homebrew?
I don't know. It's so silly.
That's like
They just
the one thing that drives people to play D&D. They like
yeah,
making their own
exactly.
shit.
The whole fantasy of tabletop role playing games is I get to take this thing that is in my head and put it on the table,
Yeah.
whether it be like turning a dragonborn into like an outlaw during the 14 stuff, or I want a sword that does this. Like
Exactly.
taking that away and locking it behind $30 is mental.
Yeah, exactly. And like, are you just going to force people to play the exact same game? Is everyone just going to play Wrath of the whatever, right? Is that it?
Now
Everyone's going to have this.
people start going back to using actual pen and paper.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
and
that's what I was
driving-
going to do. Is whatever your VTT was, that's what you were going to just put all your information in. Roll20 was going to have, like, to get more server space for all the character sheets that were going to go up.
And like, if they're banning people from using other competitive, virtual tabletops too, like you're not allowed to use D&D
That is
products on there.
actually nuts.
It's monopolizing, right?
Yes, that's what
it
this is. They're
Yeah.
trying to monopolize something that I don't even think they can, like legally speaking.
I don't
and
think they actually can. No.
like I think that they're hoping that like this bluff and them being the big spenders of the community was going to be enough, but there's no way that they weren't going to be challenged legally like this, and there's no way they weren't going to lose.
Yeah, actually, you mentioned this too. Like, there have actually been lawyers and attorneys that are into the
Yes.
hobby and stuff that have been talking about the legal side of things, even of the original OGL 1.0, and even that even has its own problems that people haven't really thought about.
Yeah,
So,
because it
for
never was an
example,
issue.
yeah, like Legal Eagle, that kind of thing,
Mhm,
and was it the Rules Lawyer as well? That's another person
Yeah.
to check out. Let's see. So, what was I saying? So yeah, D&D Shorts and as a Dungeons and Discourse, they jumped on this too, and others. They actually D&D Shorts actually says that he has a different source that he also says is credible. I don't know. Like I said, pinch of salt, right? But we'll see. I hope that they are, because of this information is like crazy. But let's see. Oh, actually, on Dungeons and Discourse's video about this very thing, D&D Shorts commented, and I want to talk about this too. This is the last thing I'll talk about because my throat's getting dry. Okay.
I respect it.
Let's be real. Holy shit. Yeah, so the comment was, as a reply, this is a great breakdown, but Hoss, who is Dungeon Scribe, who is the tweet I just read from, made one small error in his tweet that I missed when checking it. According to the source I have on the digital side, which I believe is a different source to Dungeon Scribe's person, the upcoming virtual tabletop will not be part of D&D Beyond. It's going to be its own thing that Wizards of the Coast has been developing since before they acquired D&D Beyond. It seems they intend to funnel customers through D&D Beyond to this new thing and then leave D&D Beyond to die. So I think it's the one D&D thing that they're going to push next year.
Yeah,
Probably.
almost certainly.
Yeah, so now if they leave D&D Beyond to die after this whole like crash and burn that they found themselves in, see, because he can hear my voice getting dry now.
Right.
Holy
Snake,
shit!
Snake, is that you?
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so what the fuck is going to happen to all the digital books people have spent and bought?
This was absolutely the issue that was immediately raised upon the inception of D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
And I think this is an absolutely perfect example of what could have gone wrong that was announced from day one.
Yes. That's one thing I jumped at. Like, what the fuck? People have poured so much money into D&D Beyond to play these games. They had to re-buy books they probably own physically to play on D&D Beyond. And what is going to happen if they abandon it? Will they be able to transfer their books if they pay the higher tier subscription because the high tier subscription might also like be able and allow them to use the virtual tabletop, right? This is just an idea. This is not something that's confirmed or anything. This is a holy shit. What if? I'm worried, man. What the fuck
No,
is
too right.
going on?
Too right.
So yeah, I understand some people do not want to delete their account because they've poured their money into this and have stuff they want to keep. Can they download the PDFs of the book or no?
I don't think
you're-
so.
You can't.
I don't know. But I think
I would assume you would be able to download.
I hope so.
I think it's all digital, mate. I think they expect
Really?
you to. I think they expect you to be able to be checking that either on your computer or failing that on your phone or something. I will not hold to that. I will not. I will just say that this is me expecting the worst. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can.
You can download your character sheet PDFs.
Your PDFs of your character sheet, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the books.
Yeah, I don't know about the. I really hope they can, because that would be fucking awful, losing all that. So be careful next year, I guess. We'll see what happens. So yeah, the ball is now in Wizard of the Coast court because I don't know what they're going to respond with after this particular leak. So we'll see. That's all, folks.
Yeah, fucking. I'm looking up right now if you can. Buy the fucking if you can download. You can download. Nope.
Yeah,
Downloading PDF is not possible.
Holy shit, that's disgusting. I'm so worried.
Nope.
That should have been an option.
No, and this is the one of the big things that, like, I mean, the podcast wasn't around when this conversation first popped up, but I certainly remember sitting around in Matt's Discord with Matthew, with Rose, with with you and Kobe, and just saying like this feels like some glaring omissions on how to access the content that we have bought and paid for. It's why people kept saying we need to be able to link the stuff that we buy physically to this, so that we know no matter what, we will always have what we've paid for.
Yeah,
because I would much rather buy a physical book and then be able to link it to a website than buy the book on a website, and when that website goes away, I now no longer have access to this thing. This is a common thing in gaming in general. I think this particular niche does actually kind of perfectly equate itself to game fronts for like Steam and Epic. So now we get to see practical application of what happens when a product fails.
Yep.
I'm finally looking at like how D&D Beyond is like monetized or whatever. They split everything up into individual purchases. So like
you can buy the whole.
You
book,
can like,
but you can also buy piecemeal. And believe it or not, that's actually a plus and not a minus. Because there's a bunch of things from like certain books that I didn't want to pay the full $30 for, that I just bought for, was it $3?
Yeah, I mean, I would just assume buying the player's handbook outright is just better than buying piecemeal.
Oh, correct. Like the core books, you should probably just buy the books. But there was some supplemental stuff that I picked up after the fact that I didn't want the rest of the book for.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I had never like looked into that because I had only used D&D Beyond as a player and not anything else. And I own my own. I have my own physical player's handbook. So
right.
Like you mentioned Rose's game, right? So we do use D&D Beyond for her game because she uses a lot of homebrew, right? So if they up the subscription and require you to use it as a player, I'm not going to be able to use D&D Beyond because I can't afford it.
I mean, I could, but I really wouldn't want to. I probably also wouldn't.
I have to budget. So sorry, everybody. Yeah, remember that whole money thing that I wanted as my resolution? But yeah, no. So like, this is gonna be a common thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
during the COVID days, right? We all wanted to use virtual tabletops and stuff
yeah.
because we couldn't afford a physical, like, physically going to places, or D&D and tabletop games in general are supposed to be basically the poor man's game.
Yeah.
We homebrew, we make our own ideas, put up like our stories, we draw our own maps, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like I said, if like this stuff actually goes through, a lot of more people are just gonna keep everything, like, write up everything themselves instead of
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're just gonna jump to other games.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna jump to
Yeah.
other
Absolutely.
games. Yeah.
What gets me the most is that D&D has failed twice before. The first time was not of its making. It had, all the antsy Christian waspy
Oh,
people
yeah.
going,
Yeah.
it's Satan.
Sinners.
And that's really not its fault. Fair
That's
enough.
the devil's game.
The second time was that lull that happened like all throughout the 90s and early 2000s and maybe even the late
Yeah.
80s. This is not a game you heard a whole lot of. I mean, people found other games to play that weren't this, and like Wizards should understand that they've been in a position where they weren't making virtually any money before. I don't know why they would risk going back to that, because now what happens is they go back to maybe not making the money they were making even now, and meanwhile Pathfinder takes off. All these new Creative Commons games that are coming about from Cobalt Press, and who knows what other games will spring to life. Those will pop up. All the GURP centric stuff will pop up. Like we are spoiled for choice. Moving away from D&D, it's going to be rough for some because it's the only tabletop game they really know. But with enough people moving with them, they'll find something they like.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'd rather continue making enough money, as D&D is making now, than run the risk, the very real risk, of returning to obscurity. Returning to the days where people who played D&D were seen as outcasts. And being the company that has to foot the bill of that.
Yeah, and like, it's so, like, do they know that what D&D is, the higher ups? Like, okay, yes, D&D has become popular in popular media now. Yes, even like it's like showcased in like shows like Stranger Things. But did you understand what they did in Stranger Things? They sat around their table as friends.
Yeah.
This goes
They
back
had
to the
their homebrew stuff,
Ubisoft
and, like, it's so silly.
conversation.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of executives missing the point.
Yes, yes.
This is a bunch
Exactly.
of executives who have to answer to shareholders who are saying, yeah, but we want to make more money. We can't make less money. We'd all still be filthy rich and no one would be losing money, but then we wouldn't be gaining more money. And therein lies the problem.
Yep.
Well, now here's the question of the week. All right. Which company is worse at the moment? Ubisoft or Wizards of the Coast?
Ubisoft, because Ubisoft is actively fucking over the people working for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, at the end of the game, this is a disagreement amongst fans with licensing. This actually,
Well,
That-
they're
so
also
that-
fucking Wizards of the Coast is also fucking over their employees too, because
Yeah.
most of their employees do not agree with this. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
where a
true.
lot of our leaks are
But-
coming from.
but hear me
Yeah.
out. These employees aren't being asked to crunch and aren't
True.
having the blame put on them.
True.
Like it, I don't like the comparison. I don't think there's a winner out of this, but I think Wizards is mildly the less smelly turd in this.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like I don't like this conversation to begin with, and like it's by the barest of margins.
True. Wizards is at a point where they could just be like, all right, guys, we just won't fuck with anything right now. All right.
True, and they'll still lose, but they won't lose very hard. Whereas
Yeah.
there's nothing that
Where-
Ubisoft can do right now.
Ubisoft's kind of
I'm-
fucked. Just fucked.
I'm
at the
actually
moment.
worried if they go quiet because I have a feeling because there was a whole like if we leave it long enough they will forget and we can do what we want. So I think them going quiet is worrying because they'll probably soft roll out stuff then.
You're
as
probably
time
right.
goes by.
But if they start doing that, the D&D community will be even more disgruntled about it, and there'll be more. There'll be even more of a massive
For sure.
jump from D&D to like something like
Yeah.
Pathfinder.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, them being quiet just means that it's going to be the player base that speaks first. And
Yeah.
as has been shown, now we don't know this for a fact, and it was brought up before, but they stay quiet, they don't want to talk. We have ways of making them talk.
Yeah.
There will be another mass unsubscribing run, or at least no one resubscribing, and there will be a panic and they will speak again.
Yeah, I did the math, and they with the average number of 40,000 people not like unsubscribing from D&D Beyond, they lost anywhere between like $189,000 to $2.
Yeah, so it's not even about more people unsubscribing. Like at this point, if they don't start gaining back faith and gaining back the subscribers, they will still be hurting.
Yeah. Well, with that question answered, we'll move on to what are we doing this week?
Okay, let's see. Since my major sleuthing is over for now, I'll keep my eyes peeled for more stuff. Game wise, I don't know. I've still got work to do and sleep to catch up with. I will probably play more of that Friday the 13th game because it's really
Let's
fun.
go.
Well, you gotta wait for the next Friday the 13th.
No. I don't know. What else? I think I'll probably just play no brainer games. I'm tired.
No break.
Yeah, constant mood that.
I'm tired.
I hope you get sleep as well.
Me
sometime in
too.
there.
And my brain says thank you, yes.
No
I'm going
brainer.
to continue playing Crisis Core. I will have it finished if work doesn't surprise me this week.
Mhm.
And I'll probably finish up my battle pass in Overwatch, and then I genuinely think I'm done.
Oh my god! Finally, last
so
time I hear about it.
So here's the real reason.
Yeah.
The real reason is because I stopped just playing with D and them in quick play, which is still fun, and we still roll. And if I go into quick play, I feel like I never fucking lose. I go into ranked, and
That's
remember the League of Legends stuff I was complaining about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate it there.
You know, it's actually kind of worse in Overwatch because
it's
people
so
can
bad.
people can voice in Overwatch.
It's true. You can mute them, but like, oh man, it is awful. No, I don't want to help the team. Hey, go fuck yourself. Blah blah blah. So one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to finish this battle pass and be done, or I'm just going to play super infrequently, doing quick play with the boys.
No.
And I do like the game, but between that company and the fucking medal ranks, I recognize I'm not very good. And I'm playing support. I can't carry games. I can keep the carry alive. I can't do that on my own. I'm not strong enough. So because of that, I can't keep doing this. It happened so quickly that I immediately stopped having fun. Was like, oh, okay, I'm done now. Also, the last couple events, including the one that just came out, have been shit. Absolute garbage. So, big chance I go and just chill off of Overwatch until the PvE hits.
If
No, because I'll come back for the PvE.
No, if the PvP.
Oh, Jesus. Look, if they made Overwatch 2 and that never comes out, I suspect we're still like 6 to 8 months out before we see it, but
I wouldn't be surprised if it just never launched.
I know. I think that is something that is definitely coming. It's just the question of how long are they going to make these poor players wait?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I'll knock that out. I'm like a couple levels away from maxing it out. I'll just do that, and then I'll bail. I'll just do other things, do other more healthy things with my life.
Yeah.
What about you, mate? What are you up to?
Well, like the next time you can play the Friday the 13th game is actually in October.
In October, yeah.
Yeah, there is a Friday
Really?
the 13th in October. Yeah.
That's
This
amazing.
year, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know. Games, whatever I feel like playing, which is anywhere between Cold Steel 4 and Death Stranding. So I mean, like,
I mean, those are two pretty solid games to be playing.
yeah, I meant there's a spectrum here. Like Death Stranding's probably the weirdest, and then Cold Steel's like the most normal one. I have like I've got Cold Steel I can play. I've got Harvestella I can play. I've got Atelier Rise at 2 to play. I'm obviously going to be playing Arknights every day. Games. I debated the other night of downloading the Old Republic because I was like, maybe I can go through here, play a little Star Wars.
Like, weren't you playing that last year?
Yeah, she was.
Huh. I guess
think
it's
she
just a
fell asleep on
reoccurring
us.
thing.
I think she fell asleep on us.
Frankly, understandable.
Wait, what happened? What?
I was like, I was saying that I had debated the other night. I was like, I could download the Old Republic and play a little Star Wars.
Oh my god, no! I've been following someone that's been playing it recently. I was like, oh, nostalgia! I want to play it again. It's been a while. Actually, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, my subscription ran out for it, so I was like, oh, I can't use my emotes anymore. I got a bit bitter, but no,
Sure,
I love that.
you do lose a few things when you're not subscribed.
You do. I do genuinely love that MMO. Just the way they do the whole party like cutscene thing and stuff is great.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like sitting here, and then I'm like, I don't know. There's like a lot of games to play. I mean, obviously, I gotta stream White Knight Chronicles this week, a couple of times this week. So there's that. I've got to force you to watch anime, at some point this week. So I mean, I've got plans. I got plans. But if you made it this far, which is 2 hours, and like 30 to 45 minutes of that was talking about D&D.
These games.
Sorry. I am passionate.
Please
D&D's games totally counts.
Yeah, please hit that subscribe button, like, and comment. You can leave in the comments whether you think Wizards of the Coast is worse than Ubisoft, or if Ubisoft is worse than Wizards of the Coast. Give us your
Little. What do you think?
Yeah, what'd you think, Little? But on that ends, we will see you guys next week.
Bye. Be good now. Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Opera. It's definitely